Hey guys, Gretchen's Vegan Bakery back with another classic pastry veganized. If anyone knows what it takes to make an eclair, you can bet that veganizing it was a stubborn one. But after months of testing and failing, I have finally nailed down a recipe worth sharing with you all, and I'm going to show you exactly how I did it. But I want to first explain that the way I did this was through the same process I teach in my online baking course based all around egg replacers in vegan baking. I break down the most popular egg replacers, including some homemade versions, to determine exactly what they're made of, why and how they work, and how to choose the best one for whatever it is you're making. So if you are someone who wants to learn more about egg replacers in vegan baking, this is definitely for you. The first wave of students were thrilled with what they learned, and I know you will be too. I promise this is the most affordable online vegan baking class out there right now, and you won't want to miss out. So click the links below to learn more and get in on the action. All right, let's get right to the recipe, but first let's make the pastry cream because no self-respecting eclair should be filled with anything less. I've modeled this recipe after my original pastry cream recipe from my non-vegan days. So for the custard, you will need soy milk, sugar, cornstarch, vegan butter, vanilla extract, and I'm using vegan egg by Follow Your Heart, and I know a lot of you are going to ask right away what you can use instead, and I will link to a different custard recipe for those who don't want to buy it or can't get it, but you will see that the actual eclair recipe for pâte à choux uses it also. So if you want the eclairs to be exactly like their original non-vegan counterpart, you will have to get your hands on this vegan egg replacer. Of course, there are other recipes out there that use other egg replacers, and believe me, I've tried them all, and not one has come close to this recipe that I just developed. So if you want your eclairs to be exactly perfect like mine, then you're going to have to get it. All right, anyway, first get the vegan egg reconstituted with cold water, add the cornstarch and whisk it smooth. Meanwhile, combine the soy milk and the sugar in a medium sauce pot and then just bring that to a boil. Once it boils, you're slowly going to pour it into the vegan egg mixture while whisking constantly, and then just return everything to the pot and bring it back up to a boil, stirring constantly. Once it boils, just let it bubble for about 15 seconds, and that's necessary to activate the cornstarch. Then turn off the heat. You're going to add the vegan butter and then the vanilla extract. Transfer it to a bowl or a container and place the plastic wrap directly on the surface so that you don't get a skin as it cools. Just pop it in the refrigerator while you make the pâte à choux dough, and for that you're going to need soy milk, vegan butter, flour, salt, sugar, baking powder, aquafaba, which is the liquid from a can of chickpeas, and again the vegan egg by Follow Your Heart. Oh, and you are going to need some vinegar that I forgot to show here on the table. So get the soy milk, vegan butter, salt, and sugar to a sauce pot and bring that up to a boil. Add the flour all at once and stir it with a wooden spoon until the flour is absorbed and it's going to form a ball in the center of the pot. Just cook it out for like about 30 seconds once it forms that ball. Remove it from the heat and then transfer it to a mixing bowl and let it cool just while you mix up the egg ingredients. So combine the vegan egg with the cold water and the vinegar, add the baking powder, and this is going to bubble up a lot just because of that reaction with all of that stuff in there. Then add the liquid aquafaba and whisk everything smooth. Slowly pour the vegan egg mixture into the dough while mixing on low speed, and you can actually do this in a food processor by just placing the dough in the processor and adding the vegan egg and then just processing it all together. But on a stand mixer, you do have to kind of give it time to incorporate to an emulsion. Whip it to a good sticky dough after all of the vegan egg is incorporated and then transfer it to a pastry bag. Now I'm just using a coupler with no tip inserted. And just get to piping that dough into whatever size that you want. I'm making miniature ones, so they're only like about 3 inches long, sort of like the size of my finger. I do prefer to use a silicone mat for eclairs because these do bake at a high temperature for 125 degrees Fahrenheit, and sometimes the parchment paper just gets a little bit too toasty. That reminds me, you should be preheating your oven to 425 this whole time. You're going to bake them for 20 minutes and then turn the oven down to 400 and bake for another 10 minutes. After the 30 minutes, you're going to check the insides of one of them just to make sure that they're hollow and not too gooey looking, and then you'll know they're done. Otherwise, just bake a few minutes longer. They are going to cool really quickly, and then you could just get to filling them up with that pastry cream. Now you can mix the pastry cream with an equal amount of coconut whipped cream, which I actually did if you like a lighter filling, but this is optional. Then just dip those filled eclairs into some melted chocolate or ganache and a little drizzle of white chocolate on top, and there you have it. Finally, a vegan eclair recipe worth making. I tell you guys, I have tried several of the recipes floating the internet and none of them compare to this. So I do hope you'll want to make these. Just go ahead and grab the recipe at gretchensveganbakery.com. Thank you to everyone for watching. I do appreciate you guys here so much. And as always, a very special thank you to my supporters on Patreon and PayPal. You may or may not know that YouTube just doesn't pay much anymore. Nowhere near the cost to run my blog and to test and develop these recipes. So you guys really are amazing for helping me so much. So if you think that you can help me and Gretchen's Bakery continue for as little as $1 a month, click the links below to find out how. All right, that's it for me today, guys. Until next time, happy vegan baking. Bye for now.